Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Bust. This is episode... Oh, that's right. Where? Sorry. I forgot we ended the last episode in kind of a sketchy neighborhood. That, Why do I hear... I hear, like, footprints. Unless those are my own. Sketchy neighborhood with all these trees. That is when the creepers like to bounce. So we're gonna quickly get out of here. But yeah, this, like I was about to say before freaking out. Alright, Wolfie, thank you. Thank you very much. Is episode 245 of Farlands or Bust. And we will continue west as we have for many episodes before. 244 to be exact. So let us continue. Great, fantastic news in that over the weekend, we reached $25,000 for our Child's Play charity fundraiser over at farlandsorbust.com. So we're 25% of the way to our season's goal of $100,000. We're actually right now at $25,134. And 92 cents. And I appreciate it. That's amazing. A little bit of a hat tip to Eric, who gave the specific donation that got us to exactly $25,000 over the weekend. Bing! Much like this. I'm assuming when I say bing, I'm going to have a screenshot pop up. This is me reminding future editing in Vegas, Kurt, to do that. So yeah, $25,000, 25%. Great news, great stuff, I appreciate it very much so. And you can keep doing so over at farlandsorbust.com, and I'm still trying to think of something to do for that 25% milestone. I have ideas. I have some ideas for... I know I've done IRL videos before, and I know the vast majority, or at least the vocal minority of you enjoy those things. I try to have fun with them. Are my headphones on backwards? I feel like left, right. No, I feel like the footsteps are kind of weird. Like they're behind me or something. I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Do they not seem odd today? Sit, Wolfie. They seem odd. They seem like something's up with the footsteps. This is like dry grass or something. Anyway, hopefully that resolves itself. I'm recording properly, yes, and perhaps... Oh, do I have my speakers on? No, I don't have my speakers on. Huh, that's weird. Sorry. I'm going insane. What was I saying? Yeah, 25%. I know a lot of you like the in real life videos. I have an idea of what I could do, but oftentimes I'm a little bit more reserved and whatnot, so oftentimes if I do have an idea for an in-real-life video, I'll get to recording it, and then I look at the footage and I'm like, no, this is terrible. Why would I ever do this? Why would I ever subject people to this? So, I don't know, I have ideas, I don't want to spoil any of them, and as you know, as you've come to know, I'm quite not up with the schedule usually. I don't get... Yeah, there's something wrong with the footstep noises. I guess we'll just have to deal with it for this episode. Let me get a little bit safer here. And then there's Wolfie. Let me look in the... I don't think that has anything to do with it. Yeah, they seem weird. Why are you so weird, footstep sounds? But anyway, well, yeah, I'll figure something out and we'll have something up in a jiffy. Well, my definition of a jiffy this month, sometime this month. 25%, I do appreciate that. It's a great cause, Child's Play charity, obviously, as I've said before. And I wanted just a quick kind of detour. I appreciate every single donation, obviously. I've said that many times before. They all go to help the cause and get us towards our goal. And then when we do reach $100,000, I will press F3 to see how far we have walked since the last time, the 699-492 monument. But I got a donation and a message from somebody. You can leave comments with your donations, obviously, and that's how you can ask questions and whatnot. One of the messages I got was from somebody who said, keep up the good work, etc., etc., but then they said, I promised my first paycheck as a lieutenant of the Marines. First of all, very generous person, Farlander, I do appreciate that, and just to get out of the way, your first donation that you gave was actually pretty significant. It was above average for what normal donations I get. Not to say they're not any worth anymore or whatnot, but I'm just going to say that's not necessary. I've gotten throughout the years a few messages like that where it's like, oh, I want to save up, or there's the people who say, oh, I don't have a job or a credit card and I can't donate, and that makes me very sad. More specifically to the lieutenant of the Marines, I don't want you to, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think you'll go broke, I'm assuming, but I don't want you to have to put yourself through any hardship on behalf of donating to the charity. I mean, that's in my mind anyway, my personal definition of charity is giving to others what you have in excess of, not giving to others everything that you have, because then you are going to end up being the other who needs something, and it just becomes a vicious cycle. Now, but I do appreciate the sentiment, and obviously it's all up to you. It's your decision what to do with your paycheck or how much you want to give to charity and etc. I'm just saying, what you've given already is more than enough. And I don't pretend to know how much a lieutenant in the Marines makes, although I'm going to assume, being a government job, it is probably not the greatest compensation. It definitely probably does not fully represent what worth you're actually providing to both, obviously, your fellow Marines and your country and all that stuff. So I've gotten similar messages like this in the past, or like I said, the people who are upset that they can't donate. This is a good thing. We're all happy for helping people out, helping kids in hospitals around the world. We're walking to the far lands in Minecraft while doing so. I don't want people either to feel bad for not donating enough or not being able to donate, and I don't also want people to feel like they should be obligated to give all that they possibly can and put themselves in a probably not a great situation or anything like that. But like I've said, it's your decision. It's your... Have fun, Wolfie! Whoa, well done. Good recovery. It's your decision, and I do appreciate just the support you've already given. So, I think I've, like, circled around that topic 16 times, have I not? Woof! Oh, that wasn't a woof, that's a cow. Holy cow. Like, literally. Woof, thank you. I just heard a noise that was something other than the weird footprints. What is going on with the footprints? I'll have to look into that in the next episode to see if it keeps happening. I wonder if I've been upgrading to the... No, because I have them installed in different places. That wouldn't affect... Like, I've installed the snapshots and stuff for the Mindcrack server. That shouldn't affect this version of the game. Regardless, we'll deal with the weird derpy footsteps for this episode and continue on. Speaking of different versions and different Minecraft things, this is an unusual time, a little bit later in the day than I usually release Farlands or Bust episodes, and probably not the best programming choice for getting the most viewers, because I imagine many of you are very busy, still busy, watching all the different perspectives of Episode 1 of Mindcrack Ultra Hardcore Season 10. Just went up a couple hours ago. Amazing stuff, so go check that out. I will put, in the annotation in the end slate of this video, I'll put a link to the first episode. Really cool. No spoilers, obviously, but this is a very good season. A lot of very cool stuff happens. A lot of very exciting moments happen for everybody involved. So check out as many perspectives as you can and keep up abreast as to what is going on and the statuses and action and etc. It's a good time indeed. So Wolfie agrees. He's seen the previews. He's gotten an insider look to the footage I already have. So, so yeah, check that out as well. But yeah, I understand if some of you forego, say, this episode in order to keep up with the Mindcrack Ultra Hardcore instead. But I did want to get this episode recorded and out today because I was very, very pleased in the fact that we raised 25%, $25,000. Indeed. The bed is right there. All right, let's go to sleep, and then we will continue. Tons and tons of questions to catch up on, so let's get this on with. And awakeness. Is it? Hold on. For all I know, it could be my headphones. Am I not fully plugged in? Am I only getting, like, my left channel going on here or something like that? No, I'm getting both. I think it's the game. Well, I'll say it's the game, and I'll just have to see the footage. Oh, wait. Have I? What? Oh, no. Wait, oh, no. This was right. Yeah, I was going this way. The entire time, I was going this way. I just turned around right now when I woke up because I was too concerned about the sound in my headphones. But yeah, let's get to these questions. Ooh. Going down the list from donators, I'll have I guess a little bit on topic, talking about the lieutenant in the Marines. Also a question from Eric, the fine Farlander who got us exactly to $25,000. What, Eric asks, is your impression of the U.S. military and or the people working in that government entity? Kind of an interesting way to put it, but this is a kind of a sensitive topic, I suppose. I mean, in general, as an American citizen and patriotic and believe in the good qualities of democracy, I definitely support the military branches and everything, and in being those people who volunteer, oh, careful cow, volunteer to put themselves in harm's way to defend us. And there's plenty of also, obviously, criticism you could have, but as a whole and as a general principle, I like to believe that the people who go into the military, and the people who are currently in the military or even in military as their career have the right ideas in mind, I would have to say, and they would have my obvious support for that. I do think there are. I am by nature, I guess I should get out of the way, a little bit more of a pacifist. Obviously, I think I wish we didn't need a military. Let me put it that way. But unfortunately, we do. It could be debated as to whether or not we need the size military that we have. What with the military-industrial complex, and we never really demilitarized after World War II. From that, I guess a lot of people don't realize that because they've been alive and only known a world where, in at least the United States, we've had a fully blown on standby military. It was actually the case well before that we had a very small, almost not non-existent, but a very small, only capable of defense-sized military, and it was only in times of war that it would ramp up to full size, and then afterwards it would ramp down, and you'd get, you'd send your soldiers on to get, normal jobs, and you'd destroy the weapons and the equipment and things like that, but that's obviously changed. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into this. I can't say that I'm the most scholared person as far as military history and politics and what's the word I'm looking for? The sociology and the cultural and impact and whatnot. So I don't. That's something that more people should do. If they don't know about a topic, they should kindly bow out and just refrain from commenting on. But as a pacifist myself, I'm not particularly a fan of the need for a military, or its, in my opinion, somewhat overt inclusion now in our culture. And the violence and that sort of thing, and there have been in the past decades, obviously, a lot to criticize about how we have used the military. So this and that or the other, but I do, to answer the question that was given, what do I think of the people? I'm sure people in general are good. There are obviously problems that can arise with people, but as a whole, they have my support. I have family members who were in the military and stuff. I had a grandpa who fought in World War II, who actually lied about his age so that he could join the Navy. He was too young. And that just kind of makes you think for a second. He was somebody who couldn't. He could have very well not have been in the military, but he went out of his way to get into the military and the Navy, and he fought in the Pacific and everything. So yeah, that I guess answers that question, I hope. Indeed. Thank you once again, Eric, for the donation, getting us to exactly 25,000. Child's Play charity. Speaking of the game audio in Minecraft, another question from a donator from Substitute My Own. How well do you think the music in Minecraft fits in with the game, especially when it seems to start just at the right moment? You mean like when like that? You mean when like the sun is setting, the nighttime song and stuff? I don't know, I really like it. That is one of the first things when I first started playing, or when I even just first started phone going off. When I first started watching other Let's Plays like X's Adventures in Minecraft and stuff like that, was the music was a very, you really don't even need music in this game. Obviously there's no scripted, per se, events that require music like in other video games where dramatic music will come up if there's a boss fight or a dramatic scene or something like that. But I think it was one of the early very good decisions by Notch, and also got a very good, talented artist in C418. That's his name, right? In making the music. And even though by itself, this is kind of a neat little eroding. Even though the music by itself, it doesn't seem like it would really match up with any video game. It's very slow. We just heard the pianos. It's very sparse. What's the word? Minimalistic. But I think that really fits well with the game, because the game in and of itself is very minimalistic. It definitely lends itself to the air of being alone in the world, in the Minecraft world, which is how the game really was for quite a long time before multiplayer came around, or even any of the NPC villages like we're playing in here in 1.7.3 beta. It really gives that being lost in the wilderness and in your own little world. It definitely, I don't know why I just went up that hill like that, but it's a good thing. I enjoy it. And I'm glad for the additions. I think the additions of the records was a nice touch in the later versions of the game, current versions of the game, I guess. This would be a very convenient thing to try to sculpt like a Sphinx out of, would it not? Just look at the shape. It's already got like the hind legs there. That could be the head. And there would be the arms. Sphinx Mountain. That's more of a hill or a dune. Here I'm getting geologically accurate. So yeah, I like the music. It's good music. When C418 finally released the album. Whoa, that was good timing. Wolfie spawned right there where that cactus just was. All right, then he walks towards that cactus. Good job, guy. When he released the album, I went ahead and purchased a copy for my digital download collection. So yeah, like the music. Good music. Matt C, another donator, asked, how many wolves have you had since starting Flob? I suppose we're just talking about the Far Lands or Bust world. I had a pack of 5 wolves, I believe. I tamed 4. This was just after the update that added wolves. I tamed 4 and then came across a 5th and tamed them all. And there is a Far Lands or Bust flashback regarding this. They were not fun to have around. They were constantly themselves... Oh, excuse me. They were constantly themselves falling off cliffs and injuring themselves, and I was having to heal them. They were constantly pushing me off of cliffs because there were 5 of them, and they would spawn and then like push me around, and they were a nuisance. It made making the end of the episode hidey holes very difficult because they would all try to pile into through the doorway. I only had them for a few episodes, and they just vanished. Not like Wolfie vanished. That was through a glitch during flob-athon, but I crossed an ocean, a very significant ocean, on a boat, and as the wolves do, they were out of range and they didn't spawn, and it was a mutual agreement between us that we would part ways. And then after that, I was very hemming and hawing. We saw Wolfie and who he was with in an ice biome, and I'm like, I don't know if I should get these dogs. I'm like, all right, I'll just take the 1. So that is where I've had Wolfie ever since. So 6, I guess, total. I've had others in other series. I can't remember if I had one on the Mindcrack server yet. I know in a few Ultra Hardcore series I had some wolves. Those also led to other interesting moments. But yeah, thanks for that donation and the question, Matt. Let's go to sleep. And awakeness. Does my voice sound weird today? It just... I feel like it's dry. As I take a sip of water. It just feels a little raspy. Ooh, hi. How you doing? Yep. You're my 6th wolf in this world. Woof. So... all sorts of audio problems. Oh! No, you're fine, you're fine. Look at these jerks. Having a party over here. Woof! Let's get on with these questions. We gotta get through them. Let's, how many wolves? Have you ever, this is an anonymous question, but from a donator, have you ever had a situation in which you thought you had lost your Far Lands or Bust world? The world save, which is now over 7 gigabytes. I don't believe I've ever thought I've lost it. Perhaps maybe I might have thought I would have accidentally lost, like, the most recent version. But I do have many backups. Before I start each episode, I make a backup to my external hard drive. I have automatic backups that back up to my off-site backup service that I pay for. You know, it's an off-site, for all my documents and videos and everything is up there. When I famously went to, I don't know why I'm suddenly famous, I went to flob-athon, or not flob-athon, I went to wow, that was a weird, yeah, I went to Minecon in Paris, and I brought, just in case, even though I had the main copy, I had the backup copy on my external hard drive, and I had the cloud copy. Just in case something were to happen while I was away, I put it on a thumb drive and was carrying on me a copy on the thumb drive while I was in Paris. It's like the nuclear football. It's all, I had like a handcuffs chained to me and everything. No, but yeah. No, I'm very, very careful not growing up, but being throughout school and my original job. That looks like it's pointing to the west. It looks like nothing else. Make no comments about it. I know the value of backing up and saving versions frequently. It gets to the point where it's a little bit OCD or a little bit even hoardery Like when I would making websites, for every slight change, I would make a whole new copy of the entire website and call it, version 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, So I would have hundreds of copies filling up hard drives of different projects and Photoshop files and websites and stuff, just in case I wanted to go back and ever to revert. And that I had to do that last week. I had a lot of old versions from different episodes of Far Lands or Bust, which at 7 gigabytes each, that takes up the external hard drive pretty quick. So I had to go back and delete. I'm like, all right, I'm never going to go back to episode, 212, or anything like that. So let's delete that back up. And that's part of at least my fun with Far Lands or Bust, is as we're continuing, like this kind of crazy lake of the 2 tall block dirt pillars. It's interesting. We're never, I don't keep the backups to a lot of these places because it's a once in a Let's Play thing to experience. All these places we're traveling by and we will never see again because we will not be returning to these places. We are just traveling west. The only places I have backups of are the 2 monuments, because I need those to make the overhead maps. And I have a copy from the Canyon of Woe. That's really early on in the history of the series, and also a copy because I went back for a special occasion of the endless pit of doom and destruction and destiny, or whatever it was called, the big pit. I think I did that for the 10,000 subscriber special. Endless pit of, I forgot what it was called. Speaking of endless pits, so yeah, those are really the ones I keep, but the other ones they are destroyed and forgotten to time. Indeed. So yeah, like the Nether portal, the little the secondary log cabin Mark II or whatever I called it. That those places are not places you can go anymore. I suppose I could, but they would take 45 episodes walking in the other direction to try to get to, because we don't know what the coordinates of them are. Indeed, Wolfie. Indeed. So yeah, no, there was no specific moment where I think I was a fear that I had lost the entire Far Lands or Bust world, simply because now it exists in so many places. I think I've got all my bases covered. How many wolves? Blah, blah, blah. Let's see, we're about halfway through the final day of this episode of Far Lands or Bust. Another anonymous question. How do you tell when shyness becomes introversion? Or do you think they are the same? Well, I don't think they're the same. Wow, what is wrong with my voice today? Hey guys, my name is Kurt. Welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. I don't think they're the same. You could definitely be one or the other or both. An introverted person could also be shy, or a person can be shy but not introverted. They could be extroverted. They could love being around people and stuff like that, but maybe they're just shy in certain situations or just in general, which would be kind of an unfortunate thing. But I think the way you might be talking about it, or at least the way I experienced it, is I felt for the longest time like maybe I was just too shy. People would say I'm too shy or too quiet or stuff like that. And I would want to try to change that just simply because everybody else thought that about me. That was everybody else's opinion. So I'm like, oh, that must be something wrong with me. So I should fix that. I should try to be less shy and more outgoing and make more friends, etc., etc. Of course, that ended up not making me happy at all. And it was basically myself accepting that it's okay to not want to be around tons of people or have tons of friends. It was my accepting that it was okay and normal and natural and a perfectly legitimate personality trait. And then I found the term introverted, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I am. Sure, I do have shy tendencies and whatnot, but it's okay, and I accept, and it's my preference. It is my choice to not have 200 Facebook friends, or, well, I guess that's low for some people, 800 Facebook friends. It's okay for me not to keep in touch with anybody I went to school, high school, or college with. It's okay for me not to really hang out with, say, my extended family or my cousins or anybody like that, or have more than really 1 or 2 close friends, etc., etc., or want to really get to long conversations on the phone. You know, it's okay. So I think that right there, I guess, was for me personally, the border between thinking I was simply too shy, simply too shy, versus saying I am indeed instead introverted. That is my personality type. So that is the difference, and I don't know, maybe that helps some of you who think you're shy. Maybe you could go back, maybe I should examine, maybe I'm not shy, maybe I'm actually just, you know, introverted, and it's okay, and whatever. You know, it's the way the cookie crumbles. Run, sheep. Aw, you did not run. All right, quickly, I've got so many questions. Let me try to get a really quick one out here. Let's see. Okay, I don't really have any. Alright, yeah, I don't think I have time. Well, I failed at that. But yeah, anyway, this has been episode 245 of Farlands or Bust. Like I said, if you haven't, check out the first episode just released a few hours ago of Ultra Hardcore Season 10, the Mindcrack guys. We are doing random teams of 3 to the death. So you have to watch that episode to see what other 2 Mindcrack personalities I got paired up with, and hopefully you will choose us to go all the way. But until then, I suppose. Oh, Wolfie, get back here. Hey. You're making this difficult on me. Oh. Where you at? Whoa! Oh! Come on. You nut. Now I gotta feed you this pig you just killed. Uh-oh. Oh, this whole place is a danger. A highway, if you will, to the danger zone. Let's, oh yeah. Let's just do this. Woof! Whoa, excuse me. Alright, let's head in here. Let's close. Whoop, that didn't do it. Close the hidey hole. Let's find a way to place down a torch. And you can keep going to Farlands or Bust, even though we have reached 25%. That means there is still 75% to go, because I can do math. Because there's still 75% to go until we raise $100,000 for Child's Play charity this season, and then I'll press F3. I wonder if we can get there before Minecon this year. Probably going to be November. Found out last episode that it's been narrowed down to the eastern coast of the United States. So maybe we can get to 100,000. And we'll, in addition to pressing F3, we'll do it at Minecon. No, I don't know. Oof. No pressure there. We'll find out. We have plenty of time to figure that out, and I appreciate all the donations like I've been saying for the past 35 minutes of this episode. So, thanks for watching. Oh my gosh, my voice! If for some reason there are no more videos for the rest of the week, it's because I've lost my voice. It just went, like that's the noise my voice makes when it dies. It's like getting run over by a small bicycle. But yeah, thanks for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.